Today's video is about the directions. Now, I had a big long idea for it. Basically, it was going to go into everything about life and the planet, but I'll just go as I go and see how it turns out. I figure I'd rather just be natural. So, we all see this symbol, the plus sign, north, south, east, west. Now, there's a T in each one because it's the plus, 20. The E is the vowel, the S is the subject, and the T. We have the E. This is activated because east is where we've established ourselves. Most people say that we came from the east, right? We came from the east and then we established over to the west. Plural. We established to the west. So now, south being S is 1 under T, which is subject, below a T. We're coming from the right. Most people write their S's from the top and swirl down, but we write from that way. So we actually be doing this. S is downward. It's below a T. A T is 20 and S is 1 letter less than that. So we're saying the subject, ongoing, underlying, plus here. So it'd be down. Like when we say the word down, now we're saying dia or ongoing to and from, plural, where you are now, ongoing to and from, because it's an O circling that thing. It's the to and from this, plural, as this notion. So now it would be down too. So when we go north, starting with an N at the beginning of the word, N, I'll do it this way for the camera. So if an N starting at the beginning of a word, that's this thing that's happening right here, and it's coming back up. But it's also this symbol as a lowercase n, is this thing happening right here. So what we are happening right here, this notion now or nature, what it is, ongoing, as a reference, or a active here, because R is the 18th letter, plus here. So the idea of moving upward would be this now ongoing reference plus here, north. This subject ongoing underlying plus here, south. The expressed active subject plus would be east, where we established. West would be the plural expressed subject plus. We went west. So there's those. But when you get deeper into the whole thing, we can take all this extra, the vowels and the R on north and the U, which is the underlying, the R is the reference for the ongoing. This is the ongoing underlying. The T and the H are here because this is here when it's south and here when it's north. EST and EST, well, EAST and ST is the subject plus. The subject plus, plural, expressed subject plus. Because it's not here. It's to one of the sides. See? So when you actually see that what I've been trying to explain to people, I've been talking about this stuff for at least 5 years now in our time. The N is the 14th letter, which is AD, which is actively to and from dia. So it's the north. South, the other side of that polar opposite, south is 19. So we have 14 and 19. When you add those together, you get 33. If people don't understand the whole thing about the spine and everything being 33, the 33 degrees, where ice starts to melt and all that kind of stuff, come on. Jesus Christ and 33. So that is the up and down on our graph. So we take off the OUTH because that's the ongoing underlying plus here from the subject. This we can take off the ORTH because it's the ongoing reference plus here notion. With the W and west, we can take off the expression of that subject plus. We're just saying the plural. With the E, we can take that off and we can say we don't need to activate that subject plus. We can just say we're going expressing. So east is 5, the Roman number of V, or the bottom line expression. Number 5 is alive. 5 is this symbol. S is just a looser symbol. N just moves up and does this, well, to the camera that way. And if you actually look at it, it's N, S, W, E. They're shapes, they're spins, they're turns. I've been talking about this for a long time. We know the earth spins and the globe turns and all that kind of stuff. This is cosmic stuff happening that I'm trying to explain to you in a 2D flat world when I'm writing it out in words and stuff. And I'm trying to do it on videos. And unless you come here and actually sit with me and see that this is an all-day, 24/7 thing with me, like, you're not going to benefit as much as you could. People need to ask me questions in order to unlock those answers. So I'm trying to show you that I'm giving you the right directions here. So between north and south, N and S, we have 33. Now, like I've said before many other times, if you go the other way and we have 23 and 5, which are both 5s. 2 plus 3 is 5. Here's a 5. This is a 5. And this is a 1, because you would add these together, get 10. In gematria, I would break it down to a 1. You'd have 5, 5, 5, 5, and 1. Or 5, 5, 5, and 1. 16, because 16 is the P, the place. That's why when we go up from south, we have the underlying after the subject ongoing. But when we say the word up, we have the underlying. And now we're moving that thing as a placement or its potential, because we're moving backwards in the alphabet list from U to P. Like from D to N on down, we're going from 4 in once to N, which is 14, which is 4 in tenths. And the ongoing plural between that is just a subject between those two ideas. Now when we go up, we're an underlying thing in its place. So we're going up because we're placing something where it's underlying. Up, see? So that's why those words are that. Now right, we would say that we are here as a reference, or active here, 18, who you are, right, are, identified as a generated or grouping here, plus. I think it is good, it's right, but it's also right, as in that direction. So it's reference, identified, generated here, plus, right. It goes that way when we write. So now when you say left, we're that sign of that up and down, and we are saying that expression, familiar, plus. So what is left behind, or left, or this way, left, because we do this upright. That's how we do. So with what I'm trying to say to this one, we have 33 between the up and down vertebrae, or the up and down axis, whatever. And if we go from W to E, now when we take them apart, we have 23 minus 5 would be 18, which would be between here, where we are, 18. And if you add it together, you have 28, which is what stands for blank space. That's what 2 is B, so it's in 20, but it's in, the B is a 2 in the one position in a 2-digit number. So we have a 20, but is B, based here. It's what's based here. So 28 is based here. It's literally the 2B, but it's based here. See what I mean? So when you say the number 8, it's like the word at. E, expression. I, identified. G, generated. Here, plus. Just like we did the word right, now change that R into an E because it's the expression. Identified, generated, here, plus. It's 8. It's where things are at. Or where A becomes H in letter concept, but in number, it's 8. Where we are, where we're at. But then R is 18 because it's actively here. It's where you are. It's where you reference. It's where you reach from. It's like so obvious, but so simple and mind-blowing that unless you actually have a heart to care and see where this is going, it's not gonna touch you. So, and I don't really care if it touches you. I'm trying to show you that this is actually how things work. So, from between here and here being blank space, we have 28 when you add them together. Everything between here and here is the blank space that we're in. We have 28. And this way we have 33. It's this whole big world. It's expression upon itself. It's the earth. So we have E being the expression, activated, reference, plus here. The destiny that we are on, We are to understand that we came from stone, from DE, dia expressed, stone as a subject plus an identified nature. Now you vitally identify. What you're supposed to know is that you came from the earth and you're here to protect it. The grandmother, the grandest mother, earth. We're supposed to give that credit. The reason that we're put here on earth is because we, at one point in our spiritual or our soul history, we neglected what our creator is. If you call it God, if you call it the great beyond, if you call it the universe, if you call it the one, those are all the same idea. But if you've neglected it and you wondered why you couldn't be, you are learning why. Because you get what you express or what is being expressed and you don't react to. Like earth is literally the expressions coming back to you. It's ear plus here. It's expressed active reference plus here. It's going to come back to you. So the things that you didn't correct in your other lives, or the things that we know in history that were wrong, that we don't correct in our life now, because those people are us, just on our own separate paths in time. Like some people get that. And some people say there are no coincidences, but then when I show them stuff like this, they just go, oh, that's a coincidence. No, it's not. It's not a coincidence that I'm born on the spot that I'm at, the day that I was at, the time I was at, everybody that I've known, and how I can break down names. And I'll just go with a really fun one, because let's say the word weather is W-E-A-T-H, because these both have T-H in them as an express reference, because it's from side to side what's going on here. The weather. We've got to gather things together, weather, and see what's going on here. It's like, it's too silly. It's like from west to east, from side to side, and what's here, expressing the weather. So, but it's also the plural expression, active plus her here expressed reference, the weather. So it's like, these words are alive. And when you start putting that in names, people feel like you're putting them down. Let me just take two names, really simple. Howard Stern. Here ongoing, plural, active reference, dia. So how weird, or Howard, how words turn. He was also a host of a show, but before that he was a radio personality who interviewed other people on their here ongoing weird stories. So other people's stern, subject plus expressed reference of their notion, the expression of their notion, stern, not the subject plus ongoing reference well identified as story. It's the how weird Stern. So he interviewed like porn stars and midgets and whatever, all these kind of things. They're just names that we give ourselves in different forms. So nothing to put them down, but that's literally what he did. How words turn and how weird stories are. Stern, Howard Stern. And he interviewed people, and he's sort of an oddball, but he's playing his role perfectly. He's an awesome dude. I don't think he's an oddball. He's just Howard Stern. How weird Stern. So now move into somebody else that worked with him, Howie Mandel. Like Howie, here ongoing plural identified expression. He goes by Howie. His full name probably is Howard, so and that still applies when he's being mature and whatever, and he's got points in his life when he's doing that. But Howie, now just say his middle name is probably like Michael, Joseph, or Jonathan, because he was started off as a voice character, so it's going to be like an angel voice, and I believe it. I think it's Michael. I think I've seen it before, but I'm not sure, and I'll look it up. But either way. So Howard, or Howie Mandel, with he's known for here ongoing plural identified expressing. So he started off as a voice character, Howie, sort of a childish way to say Howard. Not necessarily saying he's childish, but it's just a playful way to say it, a nickname. So then Mandel, he's known for being a germaphobe and not wanting anyone to touch him. Now think if you manage your house, Del, but outwardly towards others, it's only one L, it's not two. So he managed his house by keeping other things away. Mandel. Man your home. Man your to or from God. E-L. Expressed active being. So his name actually means to be here ongoing vitally identified, or plural identified expression. So other things, manage yourself. So it resonates strongly with him to be a germaphobe. See how that actually plays out in his life. This is stuff that goes deeper and deeper into every person's individual life. And I know this without having to show you their name and their dates and births and places where they were born. I feel this stuff already. But I'm showing people that I can show you, when I asked how I can show people that I do have the answers, this is what I was shown, so that I can explain to people that our languages are alive and our names are actually corresponding to what's going on in the universe. So no matter how many people tell you, we've got to do this, we've got to do this. Like, if you're going to change a law and sign papers with people, and those people are supposed to enforce those laws, we're never going to get out of bondage. You're just substituting ideas and writing them down on paper. We do not need to write anything down on paper to get it finalized with some other person to say it's okay that we do this or do that. We've got to see what's going wrong and stop it, period. Whether people permit them to, give them licenses to. Well, I'm talking like the poisoning, the attacking, the nuclear weapons. That kind of shit has to be stopped. You can't just sit back and think somebody's going to take care of it for us, because they're working together, the people that we think that many people thought were taking care of them. They're working with each other. They're playing people against each other, like a TV show. And it really is that simple. And it's that childish to watch other people thinking someone else is going to take care of your stuff for you. So this is what things are. This is really how things work. And it's like, I'm not trying to be childish, because I know about all the deep and dark. I do definitely know about the deep and dark. But since nobody's even willing to open their hearts and care about what's going on, we've got to speak the same language. We've got to understand that we are suffering the same consequences by not speaking the truth, by not living in alignment with what really is. And this is the way we can start understanding it, by opening our hearts and caring enough to stop and heal and relax a little bit. A lot of it, but a little bit at first, because it's going to take a lot of work. And if we don't do it, it's running out of time. So, and I'm going to go down in history as somebody who stood up for what's right. I'm not going to go down with those people who were the crooks, criminals, and sinners of the world. I'm not going to do that. And I'm not going to sit around and watch them tear our world apart and ruin the lives of my children. I love my children. I love the people on my planet, in my life, in this universe. I care. They may not like me. They may hate me. They could care less if I breathe. But regardless of that, I care. So I'm here and I have to do this. And this is the way that I individually can contribute something great and massive. I'm not just exposing, I'm showing the truth behind everything and why people are in their positions, including the people doing the spraying, doing the governing and policing and presidents and everything. All these people are in position spiritually on such a bigger thing than most people can wrap their heads around. But until you can, you're just going to let other people push you around. But I'm going to leave it at that. Till next time, peace and God bless.